really don't have a message for today. I just, again, documenting experiences, right? Okay, it's my timeline still, no, it's no longer. It's Monday now. I recorded the video with the t-shirt yesterday. Well, for me, it's still today, but it was really yesterday because it's 2 in the morning now. But I recorded it on Sunday. It's Monday now, the 28th. And so I went about my day adding video links and typing more, to some of the videos that I had yet to post. They're scheduled to post later. For me, it's later this week. For you, it'll be next week that you see them. But I came across some other cool videos, so I hope you guys really take a time to look at the description box and you click on the links. But I finished early. I had every intention to work to finish up pending stuff that I'm working on. I mean, I literally have like 2 days, maybe 3, but the 3rd day I really don't want to work. I just want to like organize, and I'll be in the office. So I'm just going to like, send stuff out. And I had every intention to come back, and then I had Yubi moments where I was just like distracted. Then I would see something else, and then I would start doing that. So one of the things I started doing was peeling my sweet potatoes because they're starting to grow like sprouts. Like they're growing. So I'm like, I need to like start cooking, right? And I've gained some holiday weight. My cheeks are a little fuller. I feel it in my clothes. So like I mentioned before, just the physical health is going to be my focus as soon as I'm done with work, getting back in my routine. But so I was gifted this machine thing where you slice the like potatoes or eggs, and it comes out like you can measure the thickness, right? And I've never used it before, ever used it. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can make like sweet potato fries, right? Or chips, sweet potato chips. I sliced the tip of my thumb. It wouldn't stop bleeding. So I remembered a home remedy that my mom would do, right? Echarle aceite to try to like coat it so that it helps to clog it up, because it wouldn't stop bleeding. It wouldn't stop bleeding. It just kind of kept coming out. And it's just a thin slice, and I don't know if anyone's ever gotten like a cut on your head and it like doesn't stop bleeding and people freak out, but really you just have a lot of like blood capillaries or whatever, and because it's so close to the edge, so it's not that you're gonna like hemorrhage or anything, or it just, you just need to put pressure on it, right? I remember I had a big old scare. Anyway, this is another story. I was at an elementary school and the kid came in and I'm like, you're bleeding. Just like squirting all over. He had hit his head on the wall. But it was like no major deal. It looks worse than what it is, right? So I sliced my thumb, the tip of my thumb. So it's like this part, right? Like the side part. Slice that sucker right off. And I'm like, okay, wow, like, this realization, right? Part of living on your own is trying to figure out how to solve all these problems without having someone there to like help you problem solve. And I've never had like a major accident like this. Like for me, this is major because I've never broken a bone. I mean, I've had surgeries for like different, I almost had hearing loss in 1 year. I had an eye surgery where I had like something growing in my eye. I was like little. Yeah, but I've never really broken anything or had to have like some major surgery or major cut. It was always my other partner. Like be the one kind of attending to their needs or whatever. So I was trying to remember for the life of me. I'm like, did I buy or bring with me a first aid kit? I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And I'm like, I had put like paper towels trying to like put pressure on it, right? Fortunately, I had brought a lot of stuff and I wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing. So I had brought a lot of stuff from work home, my files and stuff, and just, you know, trainings, PowerPoints. One of the trainings we always have is a first aid training every 2 years. And it was popping right out of my bookcase. I pulled it out. I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing, right? I'm putting pressure on it. And it said, call EMT. I'm just like, no, I'm not going to call EMT. I'm not going to call for this little, I mean, it's a slice. It's definitely a slice. It's definitely more than just a scratch or a peel of like your skin. I mean, I found the piece. I found it. And it looks like really like rubbery. Like it doesn't look like it's just weird. And I'm just like, oh, this is what that looks like. And it looks, I should have brought it to show you guys. You guys probably been grossed out. But I saw it and I was just like, oh wow, it looks gel-like. And so it's like, I mean, it's a chunk, a little chunk. A little like so I couldn't find a first aid kit. I had this. I didn't even have like band-aids. And in my head I remember having like those big band-aids, but it was in an old first aid kit that honestly I think I left it at my old place. So I was like, note to self, buy a first aid kit. And even I keep small band-aids, right? Talk about band-aids, right? I think the previous video was about like band-aids and stuff, trying to band-aid situation. But I had little band-aids. And then I found a big one, but I didn't feel like it was going to do the work because the sucker kept bleeding. So I finally found some gauze, that, you know, so I put some in it and it was seeping through, so I put another one in it. And then I found like a panty liner. So I wrapped that sucker up, panty liner. Did a horrible job, by the way. Horrible job. Because I tried to undo it, so I ended up falling asleep. So I was just like, okay. I bandaged the sucker up, right? Put pressure on it. My fingers are getting cold. So I was just like, okay, the blood supply is probably just going there. I have to stay warm. That's what the first aid thing said, like stay warm if you're feeling cold. Well, it's just my fingers, like literally these fingers, and this part was feeling cold. So I was putting more pressure. And then I was going to keep working. I was going to keep doing what I had initially planned on doing. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it with this hand, you know, keep working, push through it, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, I can't move. No, I'm going to keep going. But I noticed that every time, even though I wasn't moving technically this arm, I was moving more using this hand, it was still hurt. It would hurt versus when I would sit with it. So it's just like, oh God, I'm gonna have to sit. And so I was like, all right, well, oh, I was cooking dinner. That's what squirreled me. I was hungry, and I had connected with this other person, and he had talked about going to get some sopita, some soup, and I was just like, oh, it feels good, like soup. I think I have some stuff to make soup, so I was gonna make soup. Then I got distracted, had my squirrel moment, saw the the sweet potatoes growing stuff. I'm like, oh, I should take care of that first. I was like, oh, okay, I'm hungry. What am I gonna eat? So I found something to eat, and it was hurting. Like my hand would hurt when I was moving, when the rest of my body was moving, which makes sense. You know, I'm moving. I'm causing more circulation to go through my body, right? So I lay on the couch after I had a snack. Really, it was just a snack. Put on a movie, Serendipity, one of my favorites, especially during the holidays. And then I ended up knocking out, actually. I watched most of the movie, and I ended up knocking out. I woke up. It was like maybe 11:30, 12. And I can see, so my TV's positioned in a certain way where the corner, it's like at an angle in the corner. I can see that there's a spider in the corner. And it's black, and I'm just like thinking, is that really a spider? Is that really a spider? It's not a spider. It's not a spider. Kid you not, the sucker started moving slowly. It's like if it was, like if I asked, like I had that question and I asked it out loud, and then it like answered me, like, here I am. And it starts like, you know, reaching out its arm. And that's all it did, really. It's just like it stretched out its arms because it was just like this little black. And I didn't have my glasses on. And so I was just like, I can't really see. It just looks black. And my carpet's like an orangey yellow tan color, right? It started stretching out its arms. I'm just like, it's in the corner right behind the television. I can't get to it. How am I gonna get it out without knocking stuff over? Injured, by the way, injured. So I'm like, it's not doing anything wrong. It's just there. Okay. I'm like trying to center myself. I'm staring at it. I'm like, all right. And then I tell it, just don't scare me. Don't crawl on me. Like, find your way out. And I leave the living room. And I'm looking up the meaning, right? Like, spider in the corner. I know there's a meaning for a spider being in the corner. And I found a dream meaning that said that a message was coming my way. So, you know, I listened to some of the tarot readings, and I'm going to start putting more of Chris from Minnow Pond and Allie's like actual messages that I get if I reference them so that you guys could tap into them. I've noticed that when I was looking back at some of the videos today that I've done in the description box, I reference them in the video, but I don't put their link. So I'm going to do that. But anyways, so Chris from Minnow Pond does this daily tarot reading. And it's like brief, like maybe 4 or 5 cards for each sign. So he goes through my sign. I mean, he says that I was going to get some type of message. Some type of message. Well, I mean, he elaborates a little more. I don't want to speak to it because I just don't want to speak to it. I mean, you guys are going to listen to it anyways, but again, it's, even though it's daily, sometimes it does happen that day because it tripped me out. There was this one where the night before I made a choice. And those of you that follow me on Instagram just know that I posted something about this shop that I started going to that I really liked. I kid you not. Chris from Minnow Pond the following morning said, oh, you're pimping out, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, that was the craziest thing. But anyways, so because of his last message, he had said something from the weekend before. He had mentioned something about like, there are also future events. It's not necessarily it's going to happen that day. It could happen like later on. So I'm not thinking too much into it. But anyways, I think this is the universe's way of saying, like, just rest. Oh, so yeah, my fingers were getting cold. So I tried to loosen up this, and my finger felt like super cold and like tingling, and I had a thought, and I scared myself. I'm like, my finger's gonna fall off. You know, just how morbid my thoughts go. But then I ended up knocking out. I woke up, my hands stopped hurting, fingers are warm again. So I tried to undo it because it's like, it's a panty liner on my freaking finger, right? And I wanted to like trim it because Monday morning I have a Zoom session. It's an assessment that I volunteered because no one's working during the holidays, and there's an interpreter, and I just, how am I gonna type? This is my good hand. This is my good hand. This is my left hand. I write. I do not everything, but this is my left hand. So I'm trying to creatively think, like, how am I going to capture all of the information that I need for this assessment. Even though instinctively I know the universe will take care of it, but it's just funny. So then I go outside again. I'm up. I slept like 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes for me, like, that's sometimes all I need when I'm needing to function. Yeah. I should like sleep maybe 2 more hours, and then, because it's 2:21 now. It's 2:21. I went back into the living room. That sucker's gone. Sucker is gone. I don't know where it went. And I left my door open. I just put it out there. It's just like, please don't scare me in the morning when I meditate, or, you know, because it's in that vicinity of where I meditate in the mornings. Just like, oh. And I'm trying to figure out what type of spider it is too. I think it's a wolf spider, because it's not a black widow. It's not a daddy long legs. I know that for sure. I want to say it's a wolf spider. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And they're popping up one at a time, and now also disappearing. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I don't know. All right. That was just the weird thing today. I just wanted to share that, because I was wondering what that meant, you know? All of a sudden too. Like, these last few spider incidents, it's been like one. And there was another incident. I didn't tell you guys. I was laying on the floor, feet up, because sometimes, like, I do retain, like, just, I retain water sometimes. And so I put my feet up. Depending on what I'm doing during the day, if I haven't really, like, done a lot of, like, walking or anything, I put my feet up to help. And I'll do stretches and stuff. Or like, stuff inside to just try to circulate my blood flow. And I roll my legs too, and my arms, just to help, and that feels good too. But anyway, squirrel. I kid you not, I was laying down, and there was something in me that said to get up. I get up, I turn around, and I'm laying on my stomach, right? Feet still up. I kid you not, there's like a spider walking right towards me. And I freaked out. It was also pretty, not as big as the other ones that I've seen, but it was coming out of my closet. Like, there's no like vent in my closet. Is my closet not, like, it's not the super cleanest closet, but there's nothing in there that would have, like, you know, created a spider, unless they're coming in when I can't see them. But again, I managed to capture it and take it out. I have a feeling that a spider might be my new spirit animal. I don't know. I'll put more information on the spiders in the links, different articles that I found regarding different meanings and stuff. So we'll see. Just want to share that. All right. It's Monday. Countdown begins. 3 days left.